So we can move the ball now, or the ball moves on its own, and we can move the paddles now. And that's great if we're just going to always hit the ball. But Pong is about getting the ball past these paddles to score points, right? So we need to have some notification on how we're going to start checking for that and scoring points. So an easy way to do that is we just need something that we're going to collide with back there to give us information. And we've already checked on how to check collision by looking at our ball. We have a collision enter generic behavior that we're going to use. So I'm going to create a new object, and I'm just going to create a cube, and I'm going to put it at 0, 0, 0, so that it's on the same plane to hit with everything. I'm going to move it over to the side behind this paddle, and I'm going to hit R, and I'm going to scale it up like this. And we can leave it here. And if you look, it's going to be off the screen, so you're not going to see this. So I can just kind of leave it like that. And that's my left goal. So I can name that left goal. And I'm going to hit Control D with that selected and hit W to go back to my transform or my translation widget. And I'm going to move it over here. And I'm going to check the game just to make sure you can't see it again. And you can't. And this is going to be my right goal. Okay, so we have we don't really need these mesh renders on here. I'm going to leave them so we can see the goals, but we don't need them. What we definitely need is this collider on it to make sure that we're registering collisions. I'm going to leave this as an actual collision, not a trigger. It could be a trigger because we really just need collision detection, but we already have the reflect on the ball, so we're going to get kind of a benefit out of doing the reflect on it. So I'm going to leave it as this. And since I'm not having it a trigger, I still have to use on collision enter. So if I add a component to this goal, and I'm going to add a generic behavior to it, script minimum generic behavior, I'm going to add a new event, and the event I want, I'm going to name this event first. I'm going to name it right goal collision. And the event I want, if we're thinking about it, is when something collides with this. So on collision enter. Looks like the one we have the ball. By type here. So this is when the only thing I want to collide with this is the ball. So I can choose the type how I want to actually do this. I could do it by tag. And if I tagged the ball, which I can do, I can tag this as something. I have it untagged right now. I could tag the ball as the player if I wanted to, or projectile, or something. But I'm going to do it by name of the object instead. So I'm going to add something to my object access list right here. I'm going to add the ball to it by putting 1 in there and hitting enter, and then I get an element. So if I drag the ball into my object access list, you'll see that now this goal now has access to know about the ball. So it can check to see if the ball actually hit it, if it's actually the ball that hit it. So I'm going to go by name, and now I can choose the action that I want. And the action I want here is I want to reset the ball's position when it hits the goal. So I'm going to set, we set the velocity before, I'm going to set the position now. And so if I set the position, what do I want to do this? I want to select the game object. Now that I put the ball up here, I can select the ball. And the relation, I want to do something to the ball when it hits this, right? I'm setting the position of the ball, but the relation I need is I don't want to set the position of me. I want to set the position of it. So the thing that hits me is it by name, and it's going to be named by ball. And so when it hits me, I want to set the position of it. And I actually want to set the position to 0, 0, 0 so that it goes back to the center. And that's why I put it at the center when I started, so that I could have a very easy place to reset it to. So very simply, when it collides, on collision enter, I get access to check the ball. I want to do something to the thing that collided with me, so it. And what I want to do is set its position, position of the ball, to 0, 0, 0. and we'll see if that works. And you'll see that when it hit that thing that's off screen, that's actually going to hit the paddle. You'll see that these paddles actually are moving because when the ball's adding a force to them when it hits them. We can stop that also by changing a few things. But you'll see that since this one was set up and the other one wasn't, well, it's going to hit that again. But this one's set up and this one is not set up. I'm going to leave you guys to set up the other one and show you how to do one of them. But this is how we can start to get functionality on another object that collides with us. So we just reset its position. Because it's a collider and we didn't make it a trigger, it is still getting the benefit of this functionality. So the ball is still colliding with it and getting it's still doing its reflect, right? So it's reflecting its motion. So that's why we get this nice kind of cheating on it. We get the ball to actually change the way it's going to go. So it resets itself and then switches directions because it off of that. So it's kind of a double whammy thing that we get, which is nice. And I'm going to let you guys do the left one based on that. There's still more to do with the goals, but that's how we get at least the ball to reset when it hits the goals.